What's up, everybody? Schuyler here, lifestyle fat loss coach, and I've got an interesting one for you today. This was something that popped up on my newsfeed about a day ago, and it is a really interesting article that popped up that I would love to dive into. So before we get into that, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every single week to help you become the happiest, healthiest, most high-performing version of you, and to do it sustainably. So today we got a New York Post article, and this article says Southwest Airlines is praised for customers of size policy that allows overweight flyers to purchase one seat and get another complimentary. Okay, so first things first, we're obviously going to dive into the article, but just understand that New York Post, all these journalism websites typically will create a emotionally driven headline to create traction, right? They want a lot of people talking about the articles, they want a lot of people clicking on the articles, and so I'm always very hesitant when it says something like this before I actually read the article, because, you know, they're praised for customers of size policy. Who are they being praised by, right? One, overweight flyers to purchase one seat and get another complimentary. How does that work, right? There's a lot of factors that go into this, so just a personal note, obviously has nothing to do with the article itself, but when you read articles, just make sure that you aren't getting super hooked and developing a certain frame of thought around the headline. But basically what I'm understanding from this is that if you're overweight, if you're fat, and you get on a plane and you cannot fit comfortably in one seat, rather than purchase a second seat, you're going to get another one free, which really interesting, because in the past, if I'm being honest, I've said that people who are overweight on a plane typically should have to pay more, right? You have another seat, you have more space, you have to pay more. We can't incentivize people who are not taking care of their health and who are overweight to continue to live that lifestyle. Like, if it's not painful for them, if they get catered to in whatever situation that they're in, they're not going to do what's necessary to change. It's going to be too comfortable staying where they are. Whereas if they're overweight and it's really painful for them and they struggle with some of these inconveniences, like getting on a plane and having to buy a second ticket, maybe that's one of the motivators, one of the things that make it painful enough for them to say, enough is enough, I need to make a change. And don't come at me on this video with the comments of the victim mentality of, oh, they can't decide, oh, they're out of, you know, we have control. Yes, if you're overweight, you probably have some emotional or underground struggles that make it more difficult, but you can't be the victim that say, I can't do anything about this, because at the end of the day, even if it's much harder than the standard person for you to lose weight, it's possible, and I've seen it, okay? So let's dive into the article. Plus size TikTokers are praising. So that says all I need to know. It's the TikTokers that are praising Southwest Airlines. So they are the people that are more, you know, everyone is a snowflake, everyone fits in, everyone needs to be treated special, and life can't be unfair. So they're praising Southwest Airlines for its customer of size policy, which allows overweight passengers to request a complimentary seat and forces the flight staff to accommodate large flyers, even if that means kicking others with tickets off of the flight. Now that's an issue. If someone gets on the plane and they bought one ticket and they are fat and they can't fit in the one seat and they want a second, but someone else paid for that ticket, you're now going to kick that person off. That doesn't make much sense at all, especially someone who maybe has somewhere important to be, who has family they need to visit, who has an important trip they need to go to and need to be there on time. Yeah, you can't punish people for other people's fatness. So if you're fat, you know the anxiety of flying, and this alleviates it a lot. So it alleviates the anxiety of flying at a very comfortable flight, just feeling like I was allowed to take up the space I needed. Customers whose body encroached past the armrest are entitled to an extra seat at no additional cost. So all you got to do is be a little overweight and just kind of spread the legs a little. Just create a little more space for yourself and you'll just get an extra seat, no problem. Option of purchasing just one seat and then discussing your seating needs with the customer service agent at the departure gate. So again, you go into the flight not knowing, you figure it out, which that would suck, man. You're going home, you're visiting your family for Christmas, and it's the last flight out before Christmas, and you're excited to see them, and you get on the plane and someone next to you is super overweight, and the flight attendant says, hey, sorry, this person needs the extra seat. We can't fly you today, this flight's full. Yeah, that's unbelievable. If it's determined that a second or third seat is needed, people who need 3 seats do not need to be flying. I'm going to tell you that much. You need to be accommodated with a complimentary additional seat. Flight team will then look at the seating arrangements, which are not predetermined, because that's true. That is true. You don't have an assigned seat, so you can go and sit wherever. Forgot that about Southwest. Potentially move other passengers around for the unplanned accommodation. But again, if the flight is full, that's tough. Suggest customers purchase the extra seats in advance and then contact the airline for a refund. So that would be better, right? Because you're not getting to the point where someone goes and has a trip planned and now needs to be kicked off the flight. But at the same time, why does this person deserve 2 seats for the price of 1? Why? What makes them special? They have made their choices, whether it's conscious or subconscious. They have chosen the path that leads them to being overweight. And so why are we rewarding that? Why are we allowing people to sit down and basically get that extra benefit and put other people at a potential inconvenience because of their decisions? And I understand it's a lot deeper than this. I understand. It's not a conscious choice for many people, especially if they've been raised and their parents haven't taught them about that stuff. But we are consenting adults. We have the ability to choose. We have the ability to choose every day. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to step into? Okay, the purchase of additional seats serves as a notification of a special seating need. Self-described fat solo traveler Kimmy showed her followers how to use the program in a video that went viral in October. So this might not be the newest policy. If it's October, that's 2 months ago right now. Some people need 2 seats on a plane. If so, the second one should be free. It's like a tall person complaining that every doorway needs to be higher, except the tall person doesn't get to choose that they're tall, so it's even different than that. Simply went up to the airline booth, said, "Hello, I'm hoping to use your customer size policy." Southwest is the only one to do that. Done this a dozen times, have never had an issue. I placed the ticket in the seat next to me. If anyone tries to sit in it, I kindly let them know I have 2 seats booked. To be honest, I almost never get approached because no one wants to sit in the middle seat next to a fat person on a plane. So there's an important move to include people in the super fat category. Super fat, not just fat, super fat. Super fat is how we identify it, which is so crazy because some people get offended when you use the word fat. There's a spectrum of fatness. There's a spectrum of something else too. I feel really happy that there was something like this for people. I hope to see more airlines implement customer side policies. So many travelers offset the disproportionate costs that we incur because of needing extra room. That's not the only extra cost you're incurring. You're incurring extra healthcare costs. You're incurring extra food costs. So it's not just about physical accessibility. It's also about financial accessibility. At least one person has voiced their opposition to the policy, sharing that she, her teenage daughter, and her friend were kicked off of a flight in June. So here's where the problem is. The mother said in her own TikTok video that she and the 2 teens were on the way home from Montego Bay, Jamaica, and had a layover in Baltimore before they could return home to Denver. During their layover, Southwest Airlines informed her that the flight was overbooked and they could not board the plane despite spending $620 on tickets. Please help me understand, why do I have to spend the night without any accommodations in Baltimore because an oversized person didn't purchase a second ticket? That's very true. That's absolutely true. The airline officials told her it's their right to kick a person out of the plane for the oversized person, and shared a video of a conversation she had with an airline manager who said, "Even if there are not enough seats, we have to accommodate that customer of size. They need an extra seat. We don't charge for extra seats." That's tough, man. I'm assuming the comments are all going to be just like ruthless. Southwest knows that they might be giving up in fare revenue. They'll more than make up for it on board food purchases. This is the problem, is that I'm all for pushing people to make a change, but when you are insulting, yeah, it's funny, yeah, haha, it can get a laugh, but at the same time, we got to understand this is what creates the resentment of creating more tension between 2 people. Because if we really were empathetic and we were really forthright with people who were this overweight and really explain their situation of look, you have control. You have the ability to make a change. I can guarantee it would be a much different situation. I could guarantee there would be like way less resentment on both sides of the party. So overall, I think that this is a terrible move by Southwest. I think it is playing into victim culture of basically insinuating that these people don't have a choice, that these people have no choice and they're overweight and they can't do anything about it. And if that was the case, yeah, it'd probably be pretty helpful for them to accommodate, right? And maybe do it in a way where they buy 2 tickets and then they get 1 refunded. But to be able to walk up to the desk and do that is an issue. And the bigger point here is that there is a choice. There is a choice. You have a choice to be overweight. You have a choice to make those decisions that you do every day with the foods that you eat and how you move your body. No one can tell me they're not educated enough to lose weight. I do think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think there's a lot of difficult things, but all you need to do is find someone you trust, find someone that a lot of people trust, model that. At the very best, invest in them, invest in their program, help them mentor you and coach you through it. At the very least, follow them because people are posting helpful information every single day. There's content online that is helpful, that is truly educating, and that isn't just fear-mongering or fat shaming or anything like that. So this one's a tough one to stomach. We will see how it plays out for Southwest. I personally don't fly with Southwest, so it's not like I'm going to say I'm boycotting them, but we will see how people respond to this. So that being said, appreciate you guys for watching. I would love your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course, as always, make sure you eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.